Okay, we are live.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer, our Sunday call. Wow, look at these beautiful faces. I see Katie and Deborah.
Hi, Dr. Ann, I just had a quick question for you. I'm
Hi.
doing a prayer. Do you know what time I'm going to be doing it?
I think we'll just invite you, Shifra, at the moment that feels right, if that's okay for you.
Okay, yeah, if you can just let me know a few minutes before, because I need to go use somebody else's phone for a minute, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Hello, hello.
Yeah.
Let me see who else I see. Bridget, Esther, hi. And I'm admitting people here at the same time. Who was that I just let in? Hello, Belle, I see. Vinod, hello. Nehemiah.
Good morning.
Erin, hi.
Hey, Geraldine.
Good
Hello.
morning.
Welcome. Linda. Hi, Luke. So good to see you. And then Taylor. Taylor Pomaski. What's that? Tell me. Hi. Hi, pretty. Hello. I missed everybody from us being together. I want to hug everybody.
I know.
It's hard to be one dimension now after that.
Yeah.
You know what? We got little bracelets that were made by the children, I think. Weren't they made by the children?
These are made by Susan.
And I just took mine off and I was saying I want to put it back on. So it's making me always remember. Every time I touch it and play with it and spin it around and fool around with it, it takes me back to our time together.
Susan brought back
So
the
everyone,
and personally made 100 of these bracelets for us.
she did. Yeah. Yeah. She put a lot of beautiful energy into it. Thanks for reminding us, Luke. And if everybody could also in the chat, please put where you're from. And if you are with us for the first time, if you're a new person, please let us know that so we can welcome you.
I think the thing that keeps coming over and over again in my head was the morning that Joe and Susan came in with the things on. They were so good. They came in, like aliens, saying that it's the time is now, and like it's the time is now to even if you feel weird, if you're weird, if you're not weird, you just think you're weird. If somebody else thinks you're weird, but you don't think you're, it doesn't matter. Like it was such an incredible feeling. They did such a great job. I have to tell you, it was really, and it just pops up in my head at the strangest of times. I see the things and how sometimes one would move and the other one wouldn't. And it was just hysterical. These little um, antennas that they had, like little headband antennas. We all had them actually, but they came in first, and it was really neat. Really, really great.
Yeah. So, wow, we've got Linda from Nova Scotia is here. First time. Welcome, Linda. And Deb from Massachusetts here with Leonora for the first time. Welcome. Okay. And Geraldine, I know you're up in Bellingham now. A lot of Washingtonians on the call. I know Ariana's usually here, and she's from Washington.
I know we're not supposed to say it out loud. We're not supposed to tell everybody how wonderful Bellingham is. Everybody from Bellingham, if you say it, they go like this, shh.
I haven't heard that yet, but it is pretty cool.
It's one of my favorite places on earth. It's so amazing. But they're like, we don't want everybody in the world to know about us, so don't tell everybody.
Geraldine, I'm in
That's funny.
Olympia. I'm in Olympia.
Ah, wonderful.
And Joseph and Susan are in Shoreline, just a bit above Seattle.
Yes, I wasn't sure where I wanted to relocate on the west side, so I'm here, and we'll just see
Very lovely.
what happens.
Okay.
Hello, Mei Chen. Hello, hello. Oh, Devananda. Grand Rising, Grand Rising.
Okay, Nehemiah's here. Hi, Nehemiah.
Jerem, I think you may have missed this. Talia Pominski said she's new here for the
There
first
she
time.
Wow.
is. Yes. I was
Okay,
wondering.
Hello.
welcome, welcome, welcome.
I
Thank
see
you.
Randy. I can't see Randy's face, but I see Randy's name. I haven't seen him in a long time. I see Linda. Hi, Linda. This is wonderful. Wonderful.
Okay.
I'm so excited about our quote today and always our calls. I'm always excited about our calls. And it's fun. Oh, there's Randy's face. Hi. So nice to see you.
Sorry, I'm eating, so I shut myself off. So,
I'm trying
and
very hard not to eat because I associate this call with me sitting with a cup of tea and nibbles, like I'm having you guys over in my own personal kitchen. And so today, because I'm co-hosting, I have my cup of tea, but it's pushed way away, and my little biscottis are pushed way over there, so that I don't just forget.
Okay. Well,
Favorite times
welcome
of the week.
everyone. Welcome everyone. And we have our dear Cornelia here with today's announcements, which there's some wonderful, exciting ones. So Cornelia, take it away, please.
Yeah, but before we do that, we should always, as we always do, Robin, if you can bring up the medical disclaimer, please, because that is always what we want to share with everyone, that whatever is being said here is on this call is intended for educational purposes only and is not meant to diagnose or treat any medical or emotional condition. And so that is, we have our medical disclaimer on all of our programs as well as on the website. So you can refer to that, but we are also kind of saying it here on the call. Thank you.
Thank you, Cornelia.
Robin. And that takes us then to our announcement. One of the things that I definitely would like to share right away is what happened in the last couple of days for those of you who have followed Pete, who was running 100 miles, and he actually made it to the finish line. He crossed the finish line and he raised, I don't know exactly how much it is, about like $60,000 with
Wow.
his running right now, and there's probably more to come because now he is actually scheduled to go on certain podcasts and shows to talk about his experience and why he did it to help the children in Nepal. And his goal was to raise $100,000, and he is already way beyond half of it. And I just would like everyone to because he's most likely watching the call once he has recovered, that we actually rub our hands together and send him some love and a big, big thank you from our side to really acknowledge what he has done. And I spoke to him when he was in Sedona. I met him there in person, and how excited he was to get on that run. And everything was lining up for him, and it was such an inspiration, I guess, for all of us. So that's just for the beginning for our announcements, and then let's go into what else we have.
And
We do
Cornelia,
have,
just will there be a link in the chat in case anyone would like to support the effort of Pete?
yeah, I can post that link. If you give me a little bit of time after the
Great.
announcement, then I can post the link there. So
Great,
that what we do have really are all of our courses, of course, that are the kind of self-guided ones, and you have seen them, and they will also be posted here in the chat in a few minutes. That we have the 7-day to 30-day detox. Then we also have the emergency courses still going on in English as well as in Portuguese. They all are pre-recorded, but what we have now coming up is the miracle experiment game again. And we haven't done that in about 2 years. And I personally am really, really excited that we are bringing it up again. And I invite Robin to speak about her experience from the last one.
Yeah, so when we did the miracle experiment the last time, that was actually the first, so it was in September. And that first week in September, I decided to make my little pocket guide of Marma.
Oh, yeah.
And that set into motion like my most productive 3 months ever was that miracle experiment. Because after this, then I created 6 neurographic coloring books by the end of the month, and I wound up finishing my my playbook for achieving health and longevity that has a lot of those neurographics with it by like November. And so I was just, you know, every time I would do the series of, you know, what do I want, and then what is my priority, and what is my priority made my brain say, finish the coloring books, finish the books. And it was fascinating to me that I had something, a tool that helped me get going. So the combination of learning that particular Marma and the miracle experiment, it was a perfect container for what I was creating. And then I also wanted to let everybody know, because I'm going to be one of the guides or mentors or whatever you call us, that I realized if you have any stress or worry about what's going on in the world, the early bird special is only $57. That would be the best $57 you could ever spend, because being in this container of the miracle experiment is a wonderful place for you to be able to reset your mind, and our minds are what create our reality and what we're choosing to get more of. And so the miracle experiment is a fabulous opportunity for us to be creating life the way we want it.
Yes,
just
and
briefly,
I just
I'm
would
sorry.
like to kind of finish that. So we are starting, official start is on the 12th of July. The $57 is actually our early bird price. So in order to avail of that, you would need to sign up by the 5th of July, the latest, to get that special price. Otherwise, it will be $97. And so I really invite you to sign up as early as possible so you can actually save some money and really invest in yourself. It will be an amazing experience. Everyone who has gone through it, as one of our participants once said, there is life before the miracle experiment game and there is life after, because it is such a big change in a person's life. And so I really invite you, and that will also, if you sign up by the 5th, it will also give you the time to organize everyone into smaller groups, because we have, again, smaller groups with a mentor. And so we are really looking forward, and I hope everyone here on the call today signs up for the Miracle Experiment game. And I will post the link right here in the chat in a second.
Cornelia, I remember the first time I did it. And I remember being like, oh man, you know, I'm not having miracles like that. Like, you know, not real big ones at first or anything. And then it's funny how you start to notice the little ones, little ones, little ones. And then they just get bigger, and there's more. And then there's a lot of little ones, and there's a big one. I mean, it really is exciting, actually. But I can remember at first, you know, kind of trying to compare my miracles to other people's miracles and things like that. And it's a funny thing. And it's real fun after you've done it a few times. But so putting your attention on what you want and putting your attention on the awareness of miracles, it is life-changing. It really is.
Great. So one little thought I had is that since we have some new folks on the call today, Robin, you talked about using marmas, and some people don't know what they are. Could you say just a few words about what these wonderful marmas are and what they do?
Yes, so Marma they're like pressure points, and in the way we do them in the ancient secrets, we're always pressing in sets of 6 or six sets of 6. And the what do you want Marma, particularly, you're connecting with your subconscious mind. And so as I understand it, like so much of what we think we want to accomplish, we're fighting against our subconscious mind who says, no, you don't want that. When you're doing the marma and you're connecting with your subconscious mind, you're actually like lining up what you want with the subconscious, so that I think you're pulling together, and you're accessing also the superconscious to be able to draw and manifest, attract to you what you want in sometimes quite miraculous ways in how things show up. And so the what do you want, Marma, is fun. Do you want to go ahead and do that right now, Jerem?
Sure. And just to say also, thank you for that explanation, Robin. Just to say also that these are handed down for thousands of years by master healers to us, and great gift. And they're something you can take with you every day and utilize. I do them every day at this point, and I'm so amazingly grateful. But yeah.
Karen, I have a question.
Mhm.
Were you aware that the marma points are the places in the body where your breath, your prana, your ability to metabolize the fire within you, the ability to transmute things into your body to serve to things that will serve you, and your immune system, all three of those intersect at the marma points. The marma points are the places where all three of those places reside in our body. Isn't that amazing?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they correspond to acupuncture points in some cases, and to
Body.
EFT tapping points. That's another discipline I've learned. So they're wonderful, powerful things, and we Ancient Secrets, we love passing them along to people because they are such a quick and easy way to really balance our energy system and move
So
into a
just the other
space
day,
of self-love.
someone put in the chat in our little feed question. I have a friend with a very bad pain in her kidneys from a stone. What can she do? And they showed the kidney. Somebody showed a picture, just a picture of it, and the woman did it. And within minutes, within less than, it was seconds, they just did it, and they heard a pop sound, and the pain went. I mean, do you know how many people roll around in agony from kidney stones? And then all she had to do was press the marma point and moved right out of that. I was blown away. I'm still.
There's so many amazing Marma stories out there, and so we welcome you all into those conversations today, and as we go along on these calls. So thank you, Anne. So Anne, I think it's maybe time that we read our quote for the day.
Are we going to do marmas? A couple marmas today, Jerem, or no?
Oh, that's right. We were going to do that. Okay. So Robin requested the "What Do I Want" Marma. So that is one that is very powerful. Dr. Naram, in his teachings, always said that it's so important to know what we want. 99% of everyone doesn't know what they want. And when we tune in on that, then we can really start to create it. And this simple marma is taking our right index finger and using our left thumb and index finger and pressing, taking a nice upright posture is a good idea, and imagining a white frame in front of your right eye. So this is kind of projecting that image of what we want into our subconscious. And we're going to take the index and thumb of the left hand and press 6 times on the tip of that right finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And my usual favorite way to do it is to repeat it 6 times. We won't do that for purposes of brevity today, but as you see, it's very simple. You can do it when you're walking. You can do it when you're driving. You can do it during a meditation if you want. All kinds of different possibilities there. So Marma's ahead. Okay. And Robin, could you bring up the frame with our quote for the day? Okay. So this is from Master Jivaka. Master Jivaka was the personal physician to the Buddha about 2,500 years ago, Buddha Shakyamuni. And the quote is, "Everything can be either a poison or a medicine depending on how you use it." I find this really important and fascinating as our point of discussion today. And I know that you have a special story about this, Anne, that you'd like to share.
So I forget when I heard this story. Maybe in the 100-day or maybe early in our 3-year training. But Dr. Giovanni is so adorable. And so when they told, and I've gotten to know, we've all gotten to know him since. So when people tell the story, I can really put myself there. But apparently Dr. Naram and Dr. Giovanni were in Italy together. But Dr. Naram was, pretty good with his diet, but certain places that he went, like when he went to Italy, he did eat pizza. And apparently, because of his dosha, he could put lots of peppers and things on his pizza. And Dr. Giovanni's sitting across from him, and he's delighted because Dr. Naram is in his country and he's enjoying so much the pizza. But Dr. Giovanni was having agita terrible and was belching and burping and having much heartburn. And Dr. Naram looked at him and said, "Why are you doing this to yourself? Why are you eating so much peppers? This is why you're burping and you're in so much pain." And he said, "But you're eating the peppers. That's why I was eating the peppers. You're eating the peppers, so I figured it's good for me." And he said, "Absolutely not. I can eat peppers and I'm fine, but peppers are poison for you and you cannot have the peppers. You're vata pitta and it's aggravating you and making you." And I just have to laugh so hard because I could just see Dr. Giovanni, they were thinking, "Oh, look at all the peppers on Dr. Naram's pizza." And they put more on his, add some red pepper flakes on top of it. In Italy, they have this big container with oil and all these herbs on it. I could just see Dr. Giovanni pouring all this stuff on because Dr. Naram was, and he was dying. He was in agony. So even though Dr. Naram was delighted and he was thrilled and he was having no complication from piling the peppers on his pizza, Dr. Giovanni was in agony. So that's not just peppers. There's many elements in life, whether it be a bee sting. Some people use bee stings in called yoshindo, and they use it. There was the original acupuncture, and other person could get a sting from a bee, and and they have to go to the emergency room. And somebody else could use the bee sting and get rid of pain from arthritis or something. So there's many things. I bet you guys all have some stories. I can't wait to hear stories where something was your medicine and someone else's poison or vice versa. But Dr. Naram and Dr. Giovanni got a lesson on that one.
It's such a perfect teaching moment. And it made me think about just the simple aspect of when people get allergic to something. So one person can eat, dairy products, and another person will go into a tailspin with dairy products. We have such a unique biochemistry and DNA, and it's completely healthy and wonderful for one person, and to another it can be actually poison, as the quote says. Another thing that occurred to me also is just how our subconscious interprets the food that we're eating, and how certain things affect us. I studied hypnosis some years ago, and the professor shared a story that always stuck with me. We had a person he talked about a person in the class who went very deep when he was hypnotized, and they told him when he was under that they were going to take a lit cigarette and burn his hand. This was many years ago when cigarettes were more endemic in the culture. They told him they were going to take a lit cigarette and burn his hand. They didn't use a lit cigarette, but they used the eraser end of a pencil. They touched his hand and a welt formed immediately on his hand because the subconscious told him that he was being burned. And so the body has this incredible wisdom that immediately kicks into action, a welt being a way our immune system would deal with a burn. But that got really filed in my database in terms of just how we interpret certain things. I always, early on in my work life, was very against coffee. And I read a lot of information about it, and it was interesting because my mom drank coffee all day long, and she was my superhero. She worked a 29-hour day. She took care of my dad and my sister who were ill, my cousin. My grandmother lived 10 blocks away. She would clean her house, and she worked a full-time job. So she needed that to keep her going. Long story short, later in my life, I learned to appreciate coffee. And I think a lot of it came from forgiving my mom for drinking so much of it and finding that a certain amount for me is not only an antidepressant, but it's also a cleanser for the body. I drink it black and, organic, good stuff. So these are just some of the things that I found myself examining internally after reading this quote. And I know that many of you have some other ideas, and I'd love to hear them. I'm just wondering too, maybe this is a good time for our dropping in from head to heart with the beautiful music from Vinod. So let's take a moment and enjoy this beautiful music and video, and allow ourselves to move from our to our.
Not, you are part of the ancient secrets family. I love you and I am with you. Namaskar.
Full with divine consciousness. From Purga comes Purga. From the fullness of divine consciousness, the world is manifested. Shanti. Shanti. Shanti.
And that was created from one of our own within, our group within. The node made that.
Yes, and I see Vinod is on the call. Can we say hello to you for a moment, Vinod?
It's talented. I see him here. Uh-oh. There you are. Hello. You're muted. Can you unmute? Or,
Are you able to come on camera, Vinod?
yes.
Yes, I'm on camera.
Oh, okay. Great. Can you say a moment about your inspiration for this beautiful piece?
The inspiration came from several people from this community. Community is the information. And first, I would like to thank you, Jerem, Carol Ray, and Joseph. Joseph's voice was the first inspiration. I wanted to do something with when I first time heard Joseph's voice, I wanted to do some music, some commentary, something about that voice. And that's how it shaped now. And thank you, Jerem. You are constantly behind me to do something, to create something. Thank you very much. And thank you, and thank you, Cornelia. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Vinod. Keep making those beautiful compositions.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so who would like to speak to this topic today about what is medicine for one person? Maybe it's not the same. I see Esther, you have your hand raised.
I love the wisdom in this statement that Dr. Naram made because, in my experience, it's so true. And before even coming to Ancient Healing Secrets, I studied a course in morphology, which had to do with the structure of the face. And in that particular system, even there's 4 primaries and another, and one I forget who's who in terms of the different kinds, but one are natural, let's say vegetarians, vegans, others more, need more grounding, maybe they don't have any earth in their makeup, so they need to eat a denser food. But if you're from a denser constitution, you need lighter food. And then there's the environment, the culture, what your own particular individualized combo registers is what's best for you. I always bow to the wisdom in each of us because it's wonderful to get all the reflections, and yes, we can have our blind spots, but ultimately it's like going to the shoe store and you try on the shoes And you know, you know what fits and doesn't, especially if you can allow yourself to be in alignment with the inner wisdom that you have. If you have a belief that you don't know and the experts are all on the outside, that's one thing. But if you come to that point where you really, really honor your own knowing, wow, what a difference. So to me, even though in this system, I love my mung soup, I do. And I did the 30-day, and it was really empowering for me on many, many levels. However, I love, love, love this as just a foundational reminder that what's great for me, we tend to think, oh, we got to have everybody else do what I do because it's so good for me, and that we're not the same. So to respect the diversity of what different people need, for me, it's so important to let go of the judgment about what's best and what's worse, and thinking, moving away from superiority, inferiority to loving acceptance. That's it. Thanks for choosing this topic. Yeah, wonderful program. Thank you. Thank you.
Great comments, as always, Esther. Thank you. Cornelia.
Yeah, I'm kind of want to speak a little bit to what Esther also just kind of said. Me as a body awareness teacher.
I will see you soon. I'm gonna go to the market.
Yeah, someone on here on the. So as a body awareness teacher, I'm always was one of my big goals was to teach people to really reconnect to their body, because it is really your own body that is deciding what is good for you. And when I did all the research for a book I wrote about health and healing, I thought I knew everything. And then I was suddenly confronted or introduced to the principles of Ayurveda, where I really learned that every body and every person is different. And we have to understand what that difference is in order for us to make the right decisions. And in the end, it's really when you eat a food or when you surround yourself with something, the question is always, how does my body react to it? Do I feel energetic after whatever I did or ate, or do I feel sluggish? And this is what is the criteria for me now in everything I do, in order to honor what is good for me, what is a medicine for me, and what is a poison for me. And I really invite you to take that time nearly every day and really feel into your body when you do something and say, how do I feel now? What is it a gift for me to eat that, to be surrounded by those people? Or do I feel drained? Do I feel tired? Do I have issues with my digestion? And that is
A ty z morozilky vyťahla.
That is really what is giving us then the opportunity to make the right choices, whether we want to ingest in any shape or form poison or medicine. That's kind of what I had to say.
It's great wisdom, Cornelia. Thank you. I always think of the story with Dr. Clint having a terrible headache, and Dr. Naram asked him if he'd like to get rid of it, and he said, sure. And Dr. Naram had him eating onion rings, which Dr. Clint was totally shocked by. And it was because in that particular situation, he needed food that was more kapha. And it took care of balancing his system. So all these great little moments. So thank you, Cornelia. And Nehemiah.
Shalom, shalom, namaste, everyone. I want to share it on the spiritual level. I've been sharing something that was nectar for me and for many people, my spiritual path, with probably thousands of people in Israel, in India, and in the United States. It's a good for most of them. But I've learned to let go of my pushy Eretz Israeli and learn that for some people, my spiritual path is not good. It could be too much or not right, or they already have a path. So I learned that what has been nectar for me and for many people, if I'm not listening to where the person is and not exploring their kind of, it could be poison. So it was a very good lesson. And now, before I share anything like that, I listen carefully. I kind of read the pulse of the person where he is without reading the physical pulse. The other thing I want to share is this Vinod, and it will be quick. Vinod, you are amazing, spiritual being, and I might have for you something that can make you even stronger. Surprise, surprise. I found that the name that were given us by our parents is a blessing. So, of course, the name Vinod, because when the moment of birth, they are connected to us, and I find it with thousands of people over the world. So, and we can also invoke other people from this with the same name. So I want to tell you about another Vinod who was my first introduction to Indian spirituality. I lived in a community in London. I was back in a co-op, and two people came back from India and used to run the co-op. And they were students of Vinod. And this Vinod, in the farm where they learned, was the guru of Mahatma Gandhi. That means to me that you can, maybe you already know it, or maybe I already told you, I don't remember what I tell people. You can invoke the spirit of Vinod and become even more spiritually powerful. And the lineage of Mahatma Gandhi will join you, but not the tragedy that befell Mahatma Gandhi, because you're not involved in politics. You don't have to worry about that. That's it. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful, Nakamaya. Thank you. Yeah, Devananda.
Hi, everyone. Excuse me my background. I'm working in the garage today. So I like this quote, and because particularly it is an invitation to know ourselves. And all my point goes along with what Cornelia said. And for me, my thoughts are like, we grew up in a community society that we're told what to do. Many times we copy other people, or we consume the products that everybody's consuming without having that sensitivity to know what's good for me may not be good for others, and vice versa. So I'm so grateful for this quote, because during this process of healing, since I joined this community, I became more alert, more sensitive to what is good for me. For my entire life, I was eating white flour, and it was not good for me. It was something like I'll feel very sluggish, and I didn't know. I never paid really much attention to it. And after doing the challenges with mung soup, it seems that I was able to become more in contact with my body and know and have the perception a few moments or even a few hours after eating something, what is that doing to me? So I'm so grateful for that, because also it goes with what self-love is, what points in my own direction and teach me about myself. It's also adds to self-love. So that was my point. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, this whole journey takes us into a place of self-love when we're really tuning in to what feels good when we ingest it, whether it's food or ideas or any of that. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Anne, I know you had another story that you wanted to share.
I did. I'm so engrossed in what we're doing, I forget what it was.
Okay.
But I see Ariana has her hand up.
Great.
Cool. So if I remember that story, if I gave you a hint, please tell me, but I don't remember my second story.
Great.
I can't wait to hear some of these other stories. Ariana, go ahead, tell us something.
Well, for many years, as I've learned through the years, always wanted, someone mentioned this already, I always wanted to share what I've learned, and you see your friends or people and thinking, oh, this would really help them. And sometimes it's not even food. Sometimes it's a teacher or a viewpoint you have or a perspective. And we think, oh, I just want to share this because you love them. And ultimately you want to share them. And it's taken me so long to go, wait a minute, did they ask? Did they ask? So I'm learning now, waiting till they ask, or politely asking them, can I make a suggestion? Are you open to that? One of my biggest lessons that I learned recently was with my son, because you really want to, help the people around you. And I gave him a remedy, and he ended up getting diarrhea really bad. And I'm like, wow. And it turned out that the remedy I had given him, it had certain vitamins in it that actually it had zinc in it, and which was great. And he ended up loving the supplement, but he was taking other supplements. And so what hit me was, oh, are you taking other supplements or for other people? Well, my son doesn't take prescription meds, but asking other people, gosh, are you on, if you're going to put in, even if they say yes, they want a suggestion, because my son wanted the suggestion. And to always, I guess for me, I'm learning, just preface it with, you do your research. If there's any side effects, Google this remedy, see if there's side effects, look at what you're taking for other supplements, because his zinc ended up being way over 60 milligrams because he had other things. No wonder. And he felt nauseous. Yeah, a little bit too much zinc. So I learned that lesson. Just if you are putting something out there, somebody does want to have some information, and always ask them to check what other supplements they're taking and what other, they need to research that. If I forget, I need to at least make a disclaimer and say, please research this. Please research side effects. Please research your medications. Yeah. Anyway, it was big learning.
Yeah, good point, Ariana. Good
Zinc,
point.
you have to
Thank
take it
you.
with some food, or you'll throw up. I know, because I used to just take my vitamins when I woke up in the morning and then go jogging. And always, like, halfway through my jog, I would have to puke, and I'd say, what is this about? And then I found out the hard way that it was the zinc. If you put zinc to an empty stomach, no matter how hard you try to fight it, it's going to. Zinc is a tricky one. Sue, tell us something. You moved on the screen.
Oh, sorry. Just
no, you don't do it. I don't think it has anything to do with you.
Okay, anyway. I just wanted to say, along with what people are talking about, including you, Devananda, that I had this conversation with Dr. Steve, I don't know when, a couple of years ago, probably. And he has, been part of the community for a really long time. And I was saying, how do you decide when to stop something? I was just after you, and years ago, I went to Mumbai, and because you gave me wonderful guidance about how to do a few things there. Anyway, and I was saying to him, to Dr. Steve, when do I know when to not take some of these things? And, other than, of course, staying in touch with the Vaidyas and that. And he said, well, what I've done is I've really paid attention to how I feel, a bit what we're talking about today. But I felt like what he was really saying is he was really shifting the responsibility. And he was saying, it isn't just that you go and you take these things and here's your pulse and that sort of thing. It's also that you ask yourself, how am I feeling? What is the effect of this? And I think in some ways it's metaphoric for lots of things in life. We can get in a habit and not do something. And I was intrigued with what Robin, I can't find you here on the screen, but what you were saying about how when you did the 30-day miracle experiment that so many things changed. Well, you know, those things were potentials there, but when we focus on something, so if we are taking whatever herbs, or we're choosing to do certain things, what Dr. Steve, I thought, was saying was pay attention to the effect of it. Don't just think, oh, here's my list of what to do. And I found that really empowering, and it's probably up a little bit because I got my supply of when I was last in Mumbai, I got my supply of herbs, and a lot of them are running out, and I have to make some decisions. And it's not just, oh, take what was suggested, but now how am I feeling, and how to track that. So thank you all for your thoughts, and I'll just join in that regard.
Thank you, Sue.
Very good.
Great. Cornelia?
Oh, we have another hand up. Luke.
Yeah, I would like.
And Cornelia, great.
I would just like to add something, that when it comes to poison and medicine, we also have to look what we are feeding our mind and how that can be.
Do you have
poison.
like some paper? No. Plastic. Okay, I will.
And one of the things that really stood out for me, that I was in Germany in 2001 when 9/11 happened. And I was glued to the TV and watching every day for days the news that were coming. And I was really getting sick just by all the news. And I realized that I cannot continue doing that. So I stopped watching it. And I have to admit, since then, I don't watch the news, because I realized the negative impact that all this news and the pictures and all of that had on my system, that I had to say no. It was really palpable in my body. And so for me now, what we were talking about is not just about what you're taking into the body as a kind of food, but also what we surround ourselves with. And I mentioned it with the people, but also what kind of news are you feeding yourself with, particularly in these times right now where there's so many negativity out there. What are you actually letting into your mind, and in that regards also into vibrational system? That might actually be a poison for you. I just wanted to say that because when we were talking about that memory just came home, how sick I got from watching the news at that time.
Yeah, very, very good wisdom there, Cornelia. Thank you. Yeah, Luke.
Well, in regard to respecting our bodies and talking about how, you know, what's good for one person may not be good for another, it could be poison for another. Sometimes that happens to us in our own bodies because our body chemistry changes over time. So for instance, I never had a gluten sensitivity. I never had celiac disease. Gluten was fine for me. But when I came into Ancient Secrets, I respected the principles. So I became not 100%, but pretty much gluten-free. And once in a while, if I ate gluten, it was okay. But things changed within my body within the last year. So I've been on an anti-inflammatory diet, strictly no gluten, low salt, low sugar, low saturated fat. So I was at a garden fundraiser party Thursday evening for this organization here in Olympia called Interfaith Works, which does a lot of work for the homeless. And it was a fundraiser. And they gave a lot of food. So there was a lot of salad. So the only gluten-free food there was this really nice salad with some, you know, nice protein in there. But the main food were so many of these beautiful, beautiful hero sandwiches. And I said, you know what? It looks so good. I'm going to take a chance. What the heck? So I had one and it was so incredibly delicious. Then I had another half and I felt fine, no effect. But the next morning and all throughout the next day and the day after that, I was feeling symptoms, a little bit of burning in my forearms and my ankles. And I hadn't felt that in a long time. So I was feeling very tired. So I knew that was from the gluten. So even though gluten never bothered me in the past, because I've been purifying my body in the last year, it bothered me now. So it was a lesson to me to say, okay, you just learned it. You know, you should not be having gluten, because sometimes things change in our own body over time. So it's something to respect in our own bodies that, again, what was okay for you at one point is no longer okay for you.
Yeah, really good point, Luke. Really good point. People outgrow allergies and things like that. One other thing, I'd like to share one other thing, but before that, I've been trying to direct message Shifra to let her know that we haven't forgotten her. We're going to call on her in a few minutes here, but just letting you know that, Shifra. I hope you're still with us. This one thought I had is that homeopathic remedies to me are some of the most powerful things for healing out there. And they will actually have elements of poison in them. There's a homeopathic called Arsenicum album, which has arsenic, but they're diluted down so that it's a microdose. It's the equivalent of maybe 1 drop in an Olympic-sized swimming pool, but it activates the body to balance itself. Something I've had great success with is homeopathic comfrey, which is called symphytum. And comfrey is also called bone knit, and it knits bones, but in a large dose, it becomes toxic. So the homeopathic dose was amazing for me and many of the people that I worked with in healing bones. I had broken ribs, and I was doing very vigorous work at the time, and I was back to work in about 3 weeks without any discomfort just from that homeopathic remedy. So, and I think I might see Shifra here. Is that you with?
We have one more hand raised. Do we have time for that?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, Shifra, hang on one more person, okay?
No problem at all.
Okay.
Hi, iPhone, you wanted to share with us?
Someone has their hand raised. It says iPhone on the frame here.
It's Leonora.
Leonora, hi.
Hi. Can I give my little contribution?
Yes,
Please.
Okay, I have an iPad and a phone, so I don't know whether you can see me. I'm shutting the phone off. Okay. There is another part to it which I have to deal with here while I'm. Do you hear the echo?
Yes.
Ooh. I don't know how to fix
Yeah,
that.
if you have 2 devices on, it's going to cause that echo. So you need to entirely mute one of them or turn one of them off.
Did we lose you? Do we have you?
The iPhone left, obviously, so she is only here with her iPad, but I don't know if she can connect to the sound. It says she can, but I will unmute her and see if she can.
Yeah, I don't have the menu.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
no, we can see you. We can see you and we can hear you.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Okay. So there are a couple of stories from my life. Well, I started to speak about Dr. Naram, where he make this exception. He eats the pizza in Italy. And he said, it's, I think in Clinchy's book, when your system is so good, then you can make sometimes exceptions and you can eat something without getting sick and your body can deal with it. And also it is what Cornelia alluded to. It's the attitude. When we're not letting ourselves be affected, or we can let ourselves be affected by it. So there are 2 things. One is in the autobiography of a yogi, where some parallel stories happen, parallel to our ancient secrets culture. And it is Yogananda was a boy, and he walked through the street, and there was some rotten rice on the street, and he wanted to demonstrate, I think, something to his boy friends. And he picked it up and he ate it. And I think the story says there were even maggots on it. And they were appalled that he would do that. And he said, there is no poison in it and it will not harm me. He didn't do that regularly, but he wanted to demonstrate it. It's an important story in the autobiography that when you put mind over matter, that even that which could be poisonous or which could be detrimental to you, cannot harm you if you have inner purity. That's one thing. And what ties into that is I'm in Germany right now to undergo a major oral surgery. And I was advised by a homeopathic doctora in Texas about the antibiotics that I will be probably forced to take. And I asked her about it because I'm getting natural penicillins from her that usually do the job for these invasive surgeries. But she said, don't fight it, do it. After you're done with all of that, we clean you out from all of that. So I'm going into the surgery, not going to argue with these doctors and the nurses and say, I'm bringing something much better and I know, blah, blah. I'm going to do it. And I trust the homeopathic doctor. Her name is Louisa Williams. She specializes in oral homeopathy and oral care. She's way up there with Dr. Klinghardt. And I trust her. When I'm done with it, should I be affected, I will be fine because I'm not fighting it. So that's the other side of this, dealing with a poison when you have to, or something that's less than optimal. Thank you.
That's great, Leonora. And it feels to me like you're bringing the intention to harmonize it with your body.
Yes.
Which to me is powerful.
Yes, that's the thing.
We're not seeing it as an enemy. We're seeing it as something given with the intention to heal.
Yeah. And one more little thing. My sister came to Frankfurt to help me here settle in. And she went shopping down for breakfast. And of course, I had mung bean here. I have a little apartment where I cooked right away 2 pots of mung bean successfully. And she wouldn't see it. She wouldn't eat it. She knows the book. I gave it to her. And she went downstairs and she got those Danish things that I never eat. But I didn't make a fuss either because I knew for the rest of the day I was going to eat my thing. And she was happy that I didn't fight her and made another, Leonora, here she goes again. So we just need to be harmonious within ourselves. That, like you say, Jerem, that's the piece, the harmony.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes, my joy. My pleasure.
Okay. And now we have Shifra bringing something to us from her heart that she wanted to share today. So, Shifra, you're there?
I am right here, and I'm looking at all of your beautiful faces, and thank you for everything that everyone has shared, and thank you to Vinod and Luke. And so with all the beautiful prayers that have been said today to help us uplift ourselves, I want to also offer something for the healing of our world at this very challenging time. And just give me one moment. I wanted to look at your faces. Now I have to read it off of my phone. So just one moment and I will be with you. You can all take deep breaths. And so here we go. And this is called Prayer of Peace, Love, Shift. Butterfly, complete healing, uplift. Beloved, great divine, it is time. Great love of all creation, humankind, hear this call. Rise in my heart, everyone, everywhere's heart. To each do our part. Divine heart, fill and thrill us with active love so deep, real, sweet. Every weapon is stilled. Walls between us within this prayer shout dissolves in every soul heart a vow to aid, protect all children, all people. Aid arises for Gaza to feed, heal, love revealed, and for Nepal, for the world all, for you, me, we, all hostages and prisoners, free, a love so deep our hearts weep, to every heart, home, nation, world, a soul vibration of peace, shalom, salam, a balm, a world where all are fed, housed, healed, liberated, a so great love, all shifts now. Oh wow, word of wonder, a peace-filled thunder. Everyone remembers we are all part of one another, lovers made of love and of that love will manifest here, now, actively, powerfully, all shifts, changes, divine praise us into a dimension beyond contention, deep ascension, each and all becomes butterfly. Dear Lady, Lord, hear our cry. Make real now this vow, this wow, this peace, love, butterfly, lullaby.
Thank you, Shifra. Thank you. Thank you. So beautiful, your heart. Thank you so much. Okay. And before we move into the breakout rooms, Robin, do you have that continuation of Vinod's piece to bring us down the home stretch here and before we...
Yeah. Hang on. Which I should mute it. Oh, you mute. Sorry, I've got my phone on, so when we go into breakouts, I can move into that.
Okay. Thank you for all the tech work, Robin. You and Cornelia and Vinay often and Rodell give us so many gifts here on these calls. I can't imagine where we would be without you all. Okay.
I'm bringing in just the end part. I dropped the link to the thing so that people can watch the whole thing. But we're gonna close with just the pictures of some of the people in that were in Sedona.
Thank you, Robin. Great. Thank you. Thank you once again, Vinod. And so here we are at the end of the call. And before we move into breakout rooms, we want to offer you our wonderful farewell. We love you and we're with you. We love you and we're with you.
We love
Love
you.
you.
love you and I'm
We
with you.
love you.
I
With
love
you.
you.
Love you. With you.
Love you and I'm with
I
you.
love you.
And I am with
Shalom,
Love you and I'm
namaste.
with you. I love you and I'm with
I
you.
love
Love
you.
you. Love you.
I love you.
And
And
I'm
I'm
with
with
you.
you. I love you. And I am with
Love
you.
you and I'm with you.
I love you. And I am with